Girbeagly!
Hey there guys and gals, it's Girbeagly with another episode of Gaming with Girbeagly, and I'm once again playing the game Romance Detective 2. Now last episode, a lot of the story unfolded in a very big way. We spoke to Romance Detective's mom, Burnett, and she gave us the entire backstory as far as the Rose experiments go and what they were originally used for, which is apparently trying to obtain world peace. Unfortunately, there was this huge rift during the research process, and her partner broke up and were not able to continue the experiments, but someone has clearly taken their research and started using it for evil. So anyway, while we were at Romance Detective's home, she also took off her sunglasses and revealed why she always wears them. And it turns out that she has the rose pupils, those pupils that normally people have when they're brainwashed by the roses. So it was like this huge reveal. It was really, really cool. But it turns out that Romance Cop absolutely accepts her still, which was a very heartwarming, sweet little scene there. And Romance Detective, as reciprocation, decided to invite Romance Cop to share the bed with her. So that is the last that we saw in the last episode. A lot happened. It was really big for both character development and the story. But let's go ahead and continue and see what happens when we investigate the old lab that Burnett had.
Ready to go?
Yes, let us depart.
Hey, you're still wearing your sunglasses.
Of course. Taking away even one piece of this outfit ruins the entire Romance Detective image.
Well, I think you still look cute without them.
I must uphold my look, Romance Cop.
Fair enough. You don't want to have to explain anything to anyone, do you, Detective? Well, I guess it's a little soon for me to expect that anyway.
Aw. Alright, so 8 a.m. abandoned lab.
Oh, the key broke. I thought this only happened in video games.
How meta, since this is one. Did the door unlock?
Yeah, it's open now, but we can't return the key in this condition. Burnett's gonna think I'm irresponsible.
It served its purpose. Mother will understand.
I still feel bad, though. It was like your keepsake, you know?
Letting go of the past is the only way to move forward, Romance Cop. Let's go inside.
Looks like this place has been empty a long time. Honestly, I was kind of worried we wouldn't be able to get in, with or without that old key. Guess we lucked out.
Of course, we are fated to solve this case. Therefore, the odds will always be in our favor.
Not sure how that makes any logical sense, but if you say so, it must be true. The detective's back to her old self again, even though she knows she doesn't have to put up an act for me. I guess this is just what makes her most comfortable. But is that really okay? I want her to be able to accept herself and not have to hide behind a pair of shades to be able to face everyone. Not that I can expect her to suddenly be fine with that either. She's been through so much.
Romance Cop, you look troubled.
Oh, sorry, just spaced out for a second. Don't worry about me.
Alright, there seems to be a lot to sift through here. Let's begin. Oh, cool. Okay, so we actually get another scene where we get to investigate things by clicking on them. I like these because, oh, there's a little cat poster over here. I can click on that. That makes me really happy. But I love these because they add a little bit of interactivity to these games. It's more of like a point-and-click adventure during these segments. So let's go ahead, click the cat poster because I'm so intrigued by it. It says, you can do it. It's so cute. Look at it.
Oh no, this poor kitty was being used to help motivate the bad guys.
While I do not think of them as villains per se, it is indeed unfortunate that the small animals serve to encourage those misguided scientists. Rather than pity its existence here, we should respect its powers. Kittens cannot help but inspire hope in us all, for better or worse.
I kinda wanna take it home.
Romance Cop, you mustn't let it coax you into petty larceny.
Does it even belong to anyone at this point, though? It just got abandoned here. Makes me want to give it a new home, you know?
Aw. I underestimated you, Cat. Perhaps your true ability brings out the evil in human souls, no matter how small.
Okay, I won't steal the poster.
Alright, oh, there's like a picture on the desk. Okay, we'll click that.
Oh, look, a dusty old photo. Is this your mom when she was young?
Yes. And I assume that must be Rosemary beside her.
It's a shame they had that disagreement. They look so happy in this picture. So after they went their separate ways, they each had a kid, huh?
Yes, that's right. Oh, okay. So last episode, I thought that Romance Detective was actually Rosemary's kid, and it turns out that they each had kids. Unless maybe that ends up being the twist in the end. But I wonder who Rosemary's actual kid is. What if it ends up being Romance Cop? That's going to be really weird if that is the twist that's added in here.
Yes, that's right. My mother ended up marrying one of the scientists that she had worked with in this lab, and sometime later, I was born. They divorced when I was very young. My father works abroad now, so I do not see him often. He studies medicine. But this has nothing to do with the case. Getting back to my mother's story, I cut her off before she could explain about her former colleague's child. We can assume that person has a condition similar to my own.
Oh, okay, so it's probably not Romance Cop because, they need the weird eyes with the roses in them.
I was afraid you would make the connection, so I delayed that bit of information in order to reveal it to myself. Or to you, myself.
I still think you worry too much, but I don't blame you. So do you think that person might also be involved in this case?
Rosemary surely continued using herself as a test subject, or at the very least, she's had much more exposure to this substance. If one experiment caused me to turn out this way, I fear the effects on the other child must have been much more intense.
Detective, you say that like the way you turned out was bad.
I wonder sometimes which part of me is due to the circumstances surrounding my birth, and which part is my true self.
Well, that's easy. All of you is you.
Oh, wow. Way to take that very existential, heartbreaking idea and turn it around. I love Romance Cop. She's like a ray of hope in this universe. I mean, not that this universe is really, gloomy or anything like that, but this is definitely much more serious writing than we've seen in Nami's other games, and typically from this series. So this is, really nice to see Romance Cop remain chipper and true to who she really is.
You're very practical, Romance Cop. In times of uncertainty, I'll be sure to remember your words.
You held on to the old photo. Oh, cool. Okay, so we actually kept that one. All right, so there's a cabinet here, and there's a beaker or a vial or whatever this is. So let's click that.
This lab equipment's all dusty, like no one's touched it for years.
Well, they haven't touched it for years, according to Burnett at least.
That is likely the case. It's hard to tell just how long it's been since this lab has been in use.
Hey, some of the dust on this one got wiped off. Looks like someone picked it up.
Did they leave fingerprints?
No, it's clean. Seems like whoever touched it was wearing gloves.
We almost had them.
Having fingerprints isn't as much of a case closer as you'd see on TV. It's not like Lovebloom has analysts sitting ready with a database to, Detective, are you okay? You look so sad all of a sudden.
Don't tell me such things, Romance Cop. You're taking the romance out of police work.
Oh yeah, that's right, because she's self-trained, and she watched all those cop shows when she was growing up, so she doesn't realize that it's not CSI or anything like that, where it's instantaneous. The lab comes back within 20 minutes, and it's oh, we found the culprit.
It's not romantic to begin with, but I'm sorry.
That was a cute scene. Alright, so, alright, I guess these cabinets are the last thing we can click here.
No good, it's locked. Burnett didn't tell us anything about a passcode. Hey, Sage said he was a locksmith, right? Do you think he could break into this for us?
Hey, everything's coming full circle here.
That may not be necessary. Try 7673.
Whoa, why do you know the code?
Oh, it opened. How do you know?
Mother has used that number for everything as far back as I can remember. Perhaps this lock was the origin of that trend.
Let's see what's inside, and it's nothing, except at the bottom here. That leaves, and did these used to be flower petals? They're all dried up.
Roses. To find them here must mean...
They were using roses in their experiments way back when. This really was the start of everything.
Yeah, see, how did you guys not connect those dots? Come on.
But their project has been long abandoned. Who could have picked it up again?
Rosemary was the leader, right? It's gotta be either her or one of her lackeys.
So the true culprit still eludes us. But don't lose faith in our abilities, Romance Cop. We will solve this case.
Of course, I've never doubted that for a second, Detective.
Oh, whoa, okay, so there's a dark little shape there in the background, so I'm assuming that's gonna tie into something.
We've investigated the heck out of this place. I don't think we'll find anything else useful, so should we get going?
Our case remains unsolved, and we have no clear direction to turn next. We've reached a dead end, for now.
Burnett did say she'd contact us if she found anything. Maybe it's best to just wait for more info.
We're treading water.
I don't like it either, but there's not much else for us to do right now. Let's just stay alert and continue about the day.
Obviously, you guys aren't staying very alert if there's like a person standing in the doorway behind you watching you.
Hey, the spring festival just started, didn't it? If everyone's gonna be there, we should probably keep an eye on things, you know?
That's right. We could use the gathering to plan a large-scale offensive.
I wouldn't worry too much. I mean, we've got the sun on our side for now. Taking time to relax a little is part of the job too, Detective.
Perhaps I am a bit worked up. Let us go, to enjoy the festival, while staying vigilant, of course.
Of course.
Oh, okay. Someone's at the door, so we can... Oh, okay. We can go ahead and click them, it looks like. Let's go ahead and find out who they are.
Oh, someone's there. Excuse me, hello. Do you have a moment to answer some questions?
Oh, they took off.
Ah, they fled.
Well, that was suspicious. Or maybe they were just shy?
It could be our lead. Let's go.
Oh, man. After them, guys.
Well, Detective, where did you get all this energy so early in the morning?
Well, you guys were, like, eating donuts. It's like pure sugar, you know?
They've disappeared.
Huh? We lost them already.
Yeah, that was a short chase.
I was kind of excited to have another chase scene with you.
We may be dealing with a phantom culprit. Don't let your guard down, Romance Cop.
There's no such thing as ghosts, Detective, and even though that person might have known something, we shouldn't assume they're the culprit.
No such thing. I have many a tale to recount when it comes to supernatural experiences. Would you like to hear one?
Not in a spooky abandoned place like this. Geez, now I'm all tense. Come on, let's just get out of here.
Oh, okay, so now we actually get to choose where we go. So we can go back to the police station, back to Canary's mansion, or to the Spring Festival. I'm going to go ahead and go in order here because it sounds like the Spring Festival is actually the final destination that we want to end up at. So I like seeing all the little side stories and things. Let's go ahead to the police station. 10:25 a.m., Love Bloom Police Station.
Where's the chief? Oh, there's a note on her desk.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. She's, like, not been around recently. It's really strange.
I'm out on a date. Don't wait up. XOXO, your chief. That's odd.
This is very unlike her.
You think so too? I wonder what kind of person she's out on a date with.
Come to think of it, I've never known her to have any romantic interests, but perhaps she had merely been keeping them a secret from me.
Do you think we might have made her feel a little lonely?
Yeah, what if she ends up being the bad guy, like the ultimate bad guy in the Rose case, and she was childhood friends with Romance Detective originally, so what if she actually had a crush on Romance Detective all that time and just, like, was too shy to express her feelings fully, and then when Romance Detective started dating Romance Cop, she got all, like, bitter and angry because she never had made her move to date Romance Cop herself. I don't know, that could have been one of the possibilities that happens here.
Doubtful. She's a very independent woman.
Okay, well, that shot my theory to shit then.
Well, I hope she's having a good time.
Shall we check on Lupin while we're here?
We might as well.
She didn't look too thrilled about that.
Canary, oh Canary, your song, Birdcage, is really resonating with my soul lately. You know me so well.
'Cause he's in jail.
How long have you been sitting there talking to yourself like that? Ah, you two again. If you're here to release me, I'm not interested anymore. I've decided I'm gonna stay in the cell.
Okay, weirdo.
Surely you aren't serious.
What better place is there for me? My sweet Canary threw me away, and since I couldn't stay in her garbage can, this is probably the closest place to where I belong. It might be a little cold in here at night, but a guard came to give me free food. It's not half bad, really. Jail cells aren't for rent, Lupin. They're for criminals. And I'm a prisoner of love. Canary has me under her spell. Maybe I could break it by falling in love with someone else. Do you have any other relatives that look like Canary? Sisters? Other cousins? Maybe brothers? I might be able to work with that.
He doesn't care as long as they look like Canary. Oh, hey, what's up, Cupid? Yo, I heard the call of a lonely, desperate heart.
Cupid, don't you dare hook this guy up with any of my relatives.
That's not why I'm here. Besides, as long as he keeps clinging to this whole Canary thing, he's never gonna find happiness.
What do you know?
As we've explained before, Cupid is the god of desire, overseer of romance throughout the world.
You're really falling for that. Come on, he's just some weird guy in cosplay.
I'm not weird, or a guy, or in cosplay. I'm Cupid.
You're not a guy? I'm sorry, we've been using the wrong pronouns all this time.
Oh yeah, really, me too. I thought it was a guy too. So I guess I gotta give it a different voice, or her a different voice? I'm not really concerned with what people refer to me as, so I guess it is a she? Oh man, that threw me for a loop. I'm sorry for assuming your gender, Cupid. I hope that I didn't trigger you. But, alright, don't worry about it. What's a good voice for Cupid? I guess we could just do the same voice, just like girlier or something, so...
Don't worry about it. I'm not really concerned with what people refer to me as. I've been called different names by different groups of humans throughout time. Freya, Kamadeva, Ishtar, Milda, is that Quetzalcoatl? I think that's... I don't know how to say that one. Yulao. Come to think of it, I'm more often a goddess than a god. But you people just happen to see me as the Romans did, Cupid the god of love and desire.
I don't get it. This guy's even more delusional than I am. Why does he get to spout nonsense while I, after a noble act of love, get tossed into a jail cell to rot?
Because you open your heart to true romance, you will remain because until you open your heart to true romance, you will remain a danger to others.
Hey, we should leave him alone for a while.
Okay, that was quick.
Wait, Cupid, was there a real reason you showed up? You don't seem like the type to appear just for a problem as small as Lupin.
And before we find out what that reason is, guys, I'm actually going to cut this episode off here. And keep in mind, for next episode, that we're going to have to use a girlier voice for Cupid. Just still like the maybe stoner LA type one that I've been giving her. But it's been really funny to learn more about each of these characters. Like, I never would have known that Cupid was a girl unless, you know, there's this little side story here. And I like that a lot. And I like that we were able to also move the story forward by going to the lab and doing the investigation. But I hope that you guys are still enjoying this series. If you are, please be sure to hit the like button, share the video and favorite it. Also be sure to subscribe to me if you guys haven't already. For those of you who have, thank you so much for all of your support. You guys are the best in the world. I love every single one of you, and as always, it was great seeing ya. Bye-bye.
Girbeagly.